To BYU Sports Nation, we are live in the studio Bizzle. And joining us now is Blaine Fowler, Uncle B, our dual threat analyst. This time of year, focusing on football specifically and assessing the Cougars after 2 games. Blaine, it is great to have you back looking studious and prepared as ever.
Thanks. I know. Thanks for the reference to me having my studious glasses on. Brenda says it makes me look smarter. They really don't do anything for me. This is completely an image thing. These are not real lenses, and I'm just trying to look smarter.
We'll call you Ziggy Ansah. Remember at the Y Awards that one year? He wore 3D glasses with no lenses.
Yeah, exactly. No, honestly, up close. When I'm this close to you guys, I need to have a little help here.
Yeah,
so.
all good. BYU didn't need a ton of help against Stanford. Pretty notable victory. Certainly, there's a narrative around about the offense needing better. Defense was crazy good yesterday. We talked about this. I want to ask you what you think. Was the story more about the BYU defense or the BYU offense coming out of that game?
I think it was a dual story. I think the defense, we all knew they would be good, but we had some questions at corner and inside at defensive tackle and nose. Are they going to be good there? And then when Keanu transferred in, we thought, okay, well, that fixes a lot inside, but are we deep enough at that position? And at the corner position, it's like, okay, Evan Johnson got enough reps last year that he should be good. Maury Bamba had enough experience. What about Trey Alexander? Is he ready to make a step forward? So there were questions. We thought they'd be good. And I'm going to say at this point, they're better than I thought they were. Because inside, there's been a couple of surprises, like JT, John Tamapeo, has been phenomenal. Logan Latui has taken a giant step forward at defensive end. Like, he was a crazy man in this last game. The linebackers are as advertised. I think you could make a case that this could be the best linebacking core in the country across the board if you look at all 3 spots. The safeties we knew were going to be really good, and the emergence of Satawala as a big-time player back there just adds to a group that was already really good with Raider Damouni and Tanner Wall and Talon Alfrey. And so I'm saying the defense, while they're a big story, the surprise to me is they're even better than I thought they were going to be, which is a hard thing. To outplay expectations that are already so lofty was really, really good. On the offensive side, I think they're right where they need to be at this point. They haven't been spectacular. They've been efficient. I think A-Rod has managed the play calling perfectly with a freshman quarterback to allow him to grow each quarter he's out there, each game. He hasn't made mistakes. He hasn't turned the ball over. He's shown that he can make all the throws. He's a little cautious right now. I'm great with that. You know, don't you want a cautious quarterback when you have perhaps the best defense in the entire country on the other side and arguably the best special teams group in the country on the other side? I think I want my freshman quarterback to be a little cautious right now.
I guess what we don't want is we want to win, period. What we don't want is to become Utah. Utah for years didn't have the offense. They had an elite defense and special teams. Because offense is fun to watch. Blaine, you were a quarterback here. But that's not where we're going. This offense feels like it's going to pick up, and as we heard Chase Roberts say a moment ago, score a bunch of points. Do you believe that in the next couple of weeks we will see the offense take that uptick?
Yeah, and you heard Kalani after the game, and I talked to him after that. This last week, there were some minor errors that are fixable. A couple of penalties, one that I'm not sure was even a penalty. I'm not sure about that hold. But a false start when you're down on the 1-yard line that ends up resulting in a field goal. A block in the back that didn't have anything to do with the play that results in kicking a field goal. So think about all the times they were down in the red zone where they had an opportunity to finish a drive, and it was a bad mistake here, a bad mistake there that cost them touchdowns. But with a kicker like Will Farron, you know you're always going to get points when you're down there. Take a couple of those and flip it. And if BYU wins this game, if they're in the high 30s or low 40s, which they very easily could have been with the exact same amount of production out on the field and the way that defense played, then we're all going, my goodness, they just beat the heck out of Stanford. Look how good they looked. And so they're this close, guys. To putting more points on the board. And they're going to continue to expand this offense each week. I love the fact that they have a bye week for them to add more to the package. You can bet that Aaron Roderick is working on a couple of trick plays now that they seem like they've got the basics mastered, that when he crosses that 50-yard line as a defense, you start to think, oh, no, here we go. He's going to do something that we've not ever seen on film. Bear is going to be better at getting the ball downfield. Each quarter he's been out there, I felt like he's improved. That throw that we just watched to Chase Roberts was a beautiful throw. We saw a nice pass to the tight end to Carson Ryan on a deep out. He has all the throws in his bag. And his poise has been outstanding. So he's going to do nothing but get better. And as they continue to run the ball effectively and take pressure off of him, that play action game is eventually going to lead to some big plays over the top that are long, long touchdowns. So I'm completely happy with where they're at, considering a freshman quarterback. I think the guys that are supposed to be stepping up are. I thought Chase had a much more involved game this last week at wide receiver. So I like where they're at, guys. I really do. I think they get in the Big 12 season, they're going to score points. And they're certainly going to score enough points with that defense on the other side of the ball, shutting people down. Teams in this league that are scoring a bunch of points right now will not score a bunch of points against BYU. I can tell you that.
Blaine Fowler is on BYU Sports Nation. Let's move a little deeper into this conversation about Bear Bachmeier, because earlier on the program we were discussing, okay, if you don't feel like he's right on schedule, as Aaron Roderick said, then what else would you have wanted to see to make you feel comfortable that he is then on schedule or maybe even ahead of schedule? So I'll present the same question to you, Blaine. Well, is there something more that you would have wanted to see to make you feel more comfortable with what he specifically has done in 2 games?
I'm on board with A-Rod on this one. I think he's right where he needs to be after 2 games. Guys, I remember being out there for the first time and how it looked downfield. I was talking to Gifford Nielsen for a long time last night, and he and I were like exchanging notes on Giff's like, yeah, do you remember the first couple times you got in there and like you couldn't see anything downfield? I think that he's far beyond that already. And then once you start to see things and it starts to slow down, I do think it starts to come quickly to you. So I think he's past that curve where I can't see anything down there. I'm not kidding you guys. When you go out into a game at that level, especially playing a Power 4, my first game I went in was against UCLA, and they were really good. They weren't awful like they are now. And I remember the very first time I dropped back, I just ran with the ball. I dropped back, looked downfield, couldn't see anything. It just looked like this to me. Seriously, that's what it looked like. And I thought, I can't see anybody. Like, where is anybody? I don't have anybody on my team.
It was like a Kermit the Frog moment right there on TV.
Yeah, so I just ran. I just ran over to the sideline, and I ran off, and Mike Holmgren grabbed me, and he goes, what did you see? And I went like this. And he goes, he just tapped me on the shoulder, and he goes, yeah, I forget you're 19 years old. It's all good. Eventually you're going to see. Just be patient out there, right? And so then they did some things to help me out. They moved me outside a little bit so I could get outside the pocket and have a little longer to make decisions. What I'm telling you is Bear's so far beyond that. And Giff admitted to me last night that there was a time for him that it looked like I just described. And then eventually it came. And then the game slows down to you, and you get in games, and you start to go, really? They're going to do that to me? Well, this is a touchdown. Like, this next play's a touchdown. If they actually think they're going to run that blitz, this is pre-snap, we're going to toast them right here. And the game slows down, and then you feel like you're just playing with the defense. He's going to get there. And I don't know if it's in game 6 or game 7 or game 8, but I feel like he's progressing exactly as we would have him progress. And now what I want to see is I want to see Aaron add a little more, some more wrinkles to the offense to trust him a little bit more each game, which I think he's doing. I think they can push the ball into that intermediate area and take a few more shots downfield this next week, the week after next against East Carolina. And this East Carolina game is also a really fun test for BYU's defense because it's a spread team. They spread it out. They throw it all over the place. It's more like Texas Tech. It's going to give us a little preview of how we're going to defend Texas Tech, those types of schools. So this is a really fun matchup. It's a step up in degree of difficulty being on the road on the East Coast. But I think A-Rod can now add some things that are going to stretch that East Carolina defense out, and we can showcase Bear's arm over the top a little bit and integrate a few more intermediate throws to that tight end and to those big receivers breaking inside. So they're on track. They have 2 weeks now to add more to his plate. I think he's completely capable because he's shown us so far he can manage the game exactly how Aaron's having him run it. Now Aaron can add to that, and I think he will continue to manage the game. And we're gonna get to game 6 or 7, and we're gonna go, okay, this guy's amazingly polished for a young freshman.
Blaine, we're glad that your vision has improved since you were 19 years old in terms of seeing the football field and how things break down. And clearly, you're bringing it now. The insight is A+ as always.
I love being with you guys.
Blaine Fowler.
Thanks, Kermit.
Back on BYUS.
Kermit the Frog.
That's the appropriate way to end that interview.
Why are there so many? That's further